the media is one of the biggest reasons why it's leading to this downfall, because time and time again, they don't praise you for your credentials. They don't praise you for how good you're doing in the community. No, 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 no. That's not the way to get famous. No, you get famous by doing dumb stuff. For instance, World Star. I know everybody loves World Star. Everybody goes there, yeah, yelling World Star and stuff like that. But there was a video of, it was about 5 or 6 black kids beating up another kid. This kid was like 14, 15 years old. And they stripped him butt naked, beat him up, stole his jewelry, emptied his pockets, took his clothes off. And people was just recording him, and they yelling World Star. The people recording is yelling World Star. And they left him butt naked in the middle of a park. And people think that's funny. And these are black people doing this to other black people, and people think this is funny. But if it was a white guy doing it to that black kid, it'd be all over the point. And I'm not trying to get frustrated, but how can you say Black Lives Matter when you have other black people killing other black people and you're not saying nothing? But the education part, the reason why I wanted to say education was because you never, and especially for celebrities and stuff. Let me ask you a question. How many rappers you know besides J. Cole, P. Diddy, and a few others? How many people you think have degrees or have a high school diploma? I know maybe 5 off the top of my head out of how many? Everybody else drops out of high school, talk about gang life and stuff like that. And everybody's situation is different. Everybody grows up different, and I'm not going to take that away from them. But there is a problem in the black community where you have to go get that quick money fast. You have to, be the next rapper. You have to be the next basketball player. And they don't put an emphasis on education. And a lot of reasons why people turn to gang life is because they don't fit into school. They feel like getting straight A's is, they get clowned on for being a dork. I've been clowned on for being a nerd for, taking school seriously. I enjoyed school. But other black people would yell at me, oh, you a book nerd. You got nothing else to do. You a virgin.
See what I'm saying?
But and that's the problem. And there has to be an emphasis on education, whether it's public school, private school, whatever. But we have to teach kids that your education is fundamental. Because, like you said, finances. People don't know their finances. A lot of football players go bankrupt. A lot of basketball players go bankrupt. A lot of rappers go bankrupt. Why? Because they didn't take the time to go to school. They didn't take the time to learn about this stuff. This is all education. You could just pick up a book and read this stuff. You don't even have to go to school and take out loans. I'm not saying that. But, once you get to high school, it becomes like this shift in mentality. It goes from elementary to middle school, where everybody loves school, into high school, you start meeting other people on the street who tell you, nah, school's not really for you. I have something else for you to do. That's how most people get put in gang life, because they drop out of school because the OGs or the big homies around the block are looking for young people to help join their gang, and that's how they get corrupt into it. And I'm not attacking gangs or anything like that, but it has to be an emphasis on education. We have to stop putting basketball players and rappers and even actors, as an actor myself, we have to stop putting that as the main focus and start putting emphasis on, can you read this book? Do you know the 5 systems of the ecosystem? Stuff like that. People should know this stuff. People should know how to what a credit card is. What is credit? Right. What is a credit score? But no, everybody knows how to, people know how to find ways to make quick money fast, whether selling drugs or doing some type of scheme.
Yeah, it's all
I don't know, man.
It's all fundamental. What's funny, while you were talking, I just seen on Twitter, it was like, swole niggas don't have hands, and then they posted a video of a black dude slapping another black dude. See what I'm saying? Like, and it's got thousands of retweets and likes and all this other crap. And I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Like, no one, like, man, I just don't pay this fake black community social media crap any mind. I really don't.
Yeah, and that's why I said the media is the problem, because they always reward the bad behavior. Now, if there was that same black dude posting a picture of his degree, he'll get maybe 5 likes, 2 retweets, 1 comment. But that video of the 5 little black kids jumping at one kid, that got like 2 million views. 15,000 comments. And it just goes to show, man, the media is the biggest culprit. And I'm not putting all the blame on the media, but media has to do better. We have to stop rewarding people for doing bad behavior. You know, posting pictures of you with guns get you more likes than you being at the library. I just don't get it. I don't support it. And I think if Black Lives Matter really wants to be taken seriously by everybody, and even most black people too, we have to look at our own people. We have to start taking accountability and not yelling it's racism because of this and that. We have to figure it out a way to come together. We have to stop the shooting each other, stop, killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the name? There was a rapper, YBG Duck or something like that. He was another like 20-something-year-old kid who was shot in his own neighborhood. Now, I'm not going to get into that whole story because I'm not too sure. But he's another one. Going shopping, and a gang in Chicago rolls up on him, shoots him in cold blood. And one thing I will say is his mom knew what he was doing and didn't say anything. And I've seen this time and time again. Parents will go on the news when their kids die, not all the time, but, oh, he was a good kid, he would never do that. But everything he posted on Instagram was contrary to what you're saying. You telling me he lives at home with you, and you have no idea that at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's out with guns. He's in his room posting videos of stacks of money. And it's crazy, man. It's just, we have to stop. We can't just come out the woodwork when George Floyd dies or when, Sean Bell dies. We have to do more than that. When black people kill other people, we have to stand up and say something. And I've been paying attention to the news. The crime rate is out of this world, especially in these inner city communities, Chicago, New York, down south. And yet nobody talks about them. Nobody ever talks about them. Of course, there's going to be people who talk about it, of course. But the media doesn't cover it. Black Lives Matter don't cover it. But I guarantee you, if let's say Don Cheadle gets harassed by a police officer, they'll harass a white police officer. They'll be the first one to report it. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, man. It's just, we have a lot of work to be done.
Well, it's not. It's just, again, that would just take the masses, a lot of people, to start critically thinking, and that's not going to happen because it's not in style. And then when celebrities do, try to promote that, it's really just for, in some way, shape, or form, it's for their own benefit. So it's not really because they really want to see people come together. It's just because they want to make themselves look a certain way, not because that's actually what they want. Because it would take a lot more than that. You're not seeing Jay-Z's and, LeBrons and all these guys really pushing that. They're not. Because they're just entertainers. They just do what they do, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? So like me, I always thought, I'm like, man, let me just start my own collective and then just build it from scratch. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like, A$AP Rocky, right? Like the whole A$AP mob. What do they talk about? Like, I watched the interview, like, I listened to an interview like maybe like 2 months ago. Like, it just kind of played on YouTube randomly, and I let it play for a little while. All they were talking about was fashion and clothes. They wasn't talking about anything. And I'm like, you get all this money, and then that's what you sit and talk about. Fashion and clothes. I get that. I like to look nice too, but then there's other things that are, just more important. But the values are just askew. So, this is why. So people's values and what they place value on is not what we're talking about, because that's why things have been the way that they are for a very long time. So the last time people had really black pride was probably like in the 60s, in 50s, when, it was really outward racism and people's lives were being marginalized. You know what I'm saying? And then people had no choice to come together to make their lives better because everybody was affected. But once things, started to open up and everything like that, nope.
Yeah.
Because that's what all those gang movies were about, because really a lot of the films that were really popular were about, black gangs, black shootings, drugs. What is that based on? It's real life.
Yeah. Yeah. And celebrities got to do better, man. Like, these only coming out and talk about stuff because it's national has to stop. Like, I've seen, the only time I've seen celebrities come out in woodwork was when George Floyd died. But I didn't see nobody screaming Black Lives Matter last year. I didn't see nobody screaming Black Lives Matter the year before. But, not everybody is all of a sudden a Black Lives Matter supporter. It's just like, yeah, why y'all gotta wait for someone to die to do that? And I'm not saying I'm guilty of it. When George Floyd passed, I didn't go to the protest or anything, but yeah, I participated in the stuff that was going on. You know, the Blackout Tuesday and stuff like that. But stuff like that is just like uh only coming out when someone dies. It has to stop. And I want to say something too. This whole looting thing is getting absolutely ridiculous. And as black people, we have to stop praising this stuff. I've seen countless videos of people. There was just one not too long ago on 42nd Street in New York where people was looting Apple, and local business owners getting killed from defending their property. And I'm not saying it's only black people looting. I'm not saying that. But who's always caught on camera when this happens? Black people. So keep yourself out of position. Keep yourself out of those situations. That's why I don't go to protests. That's why, because it only takes one person to do something for a bunch of other people to follow. And now someone's getting killed, police gets involved. I'm a big dude. The last thing I want is a knee on my neck. But
yeah, because me and you are like, 6'3", 6'4" plus. Like we're out and about in those types of environments. We're like the biggest targets because we stand out most out of everybody. I'm not trying to be all up in the mix when all that stuff is going on. I don't want to get tased. I don't want to get maced. I don't want to get hit with, what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? And what did all that amount to back then? This is March, April, if I'm not mistaken. And look where we at now.
People still happening.
Things are still happening now because there's no change. And that's a whole completely separate conversation. But as far as, black people, I just say, control the way you look out here.
Yeah, exactly. Watch what you're doing. Yeah,
but they don't care. And the thing is, you can hold the celebrities accountable to an extent because they're only going to speak out as much as they're paid to speak out or they're told to speak out, because it's not what a celebrity is not going to remain in a prosperous position by talking about what I would talk about if I was in their shoes, because that's not what they want. Again, this is systematic by design.